Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Coffee with Katie. Hope you can't hear my dog whining. We are trying to do some Snowmageddon prep, and he's whining because John's outside. Today's video is going to be my anticipated releases for the first quarter of 2026. This is a little delayed, so some of these books, a lot of these books, have already come out. But we're going to be touching base on them anyway, and the majority of them are in February and then a couple in March, so let's just get into it. The first one that I was looking forward to is A War of Wyverns by S.F. Williamson. I've actually already read this. I ended up getting an audio arc of it, which was exciting. The second book in the series of A Language of Dragons, which is my book right here. I really liked this. It's like a dark academia and also almost like World War type of a book. It's following somebody who's trying to decode dragon language so that they can use it for their advantage in the war, and they kind of use a caste system to kind of blackmail people into, we'll put you in prison, or maybe we'll feed your families, like that kind of a thing. So the main character tries to decode dragon tongue and then kind of learns that maybe she's on the wrong side of this war. It gets into a lot of politics, a lot of who's actually in the right and wrong here. With governments and alliances and a lot of politics. This one is no exception. It is a lot darker and there's a lot more action. I think it's a lot more action-packed than the first one, but it is dark. I think something to go into this is it doesn't shy away from how war kind of actually is. What it does to people, how people can't eat, how they're on the run, how people are awful to each other, betray each other, like a lot of things are going on. So it is dark, but it is good, and I enjoyed the second one as well. And this came out January 6th. The next one that came out January 13th is actually one I'm going to plan on reading in February, and it's A Vow in Vengeance, Book 1 in the Immortal Desires by Jacqueline Rodriguez. Deadly tarot, wicked schemes, dangerous alliances, can you survive the Forge? Basically, Rune Riker has nothing left to lose and everything's been stolen from her by the Immortals. Here, humans are forced to journey into the Immortal Realms. Basically, she arranges it so that she is chosen in this selection and she has to go to the Forge, which is a cutthroat college for immortal druids and elusive tarot magic, which just sounds so cool. And then she finds out that she has like a really rare power. Because of that, she has to live with the only other person that's been known to have this magic, to be able to wield this magic, which is a prince. So they're like enemies, hate each other. Some people want to use her, most people want her dead, so he's kind of like her only ally at this point, even though he may not be able to be trusted as such. And they learn that, of course, like this kingdom has a lot more secrets that they want to protect, and Draven offers to help train her so that she can survive, but it may come at a really high cost that she may not want to pay. So it sounds really good. I hope that it's really good. We will see. And then Dragon Curse by Lise Kova. The audiobook also came out January 13th, and I have a physical arc, and then I also got the audiobook when it released, and I'm gonna finish that book today, actually. It's been really fun, but this one is about a girl who believes that she is dragon cursed, and she goes into this monastery kind of thing. I can't think of the correct word for this right now. But she thinks she's dragon cursed, which means that she will inevitably turn into a dragon. And in this world, dragons are killed by mercy knights because it is shown that you're showing them mercy, you're giving them mercy by killing them. So you're not supposed to hesitate, you're supposed to only kill them. And they think that the dragons are causing this scourge that's like destroying the land and the kingdom. And the idea of being dragon cursed is that you turn into kind of like a mindless killing beast, and anybody could be tainted. And when you're coming of age, they take you into this like, I can't think what it's called right now, but into this like monastery, into this like building, old building, where the mercy knights and the inquisitors and the vicar basically challenge you and put you through horrible scenarios to see if you're dragon cursed, because it can be triggered by like fight or flight and things like that. So they take you when you're coming of age, they put you through these trials basically, and then if you pass, you can become a mercy knight and go into society and all kinds of things. If you don't and you reveal to be cursed, then you're killed. So the main character thinks that she's dragon cursed, and she's going into this, and it's really good. I've really enjoyed it so far. I think the middle petered off a little bit, but I think it's still really good, and I'm excited to continue this series because I think it's going to be a series. We'll see. And then How to Lose a Goblin in 10 Days by Jessie Sylvia came out January 20th. And this looks cute. It says there's only room in the cottage for one of them. An opposites attract romance set in a cozy fantasy world. A comfort read fantasy romance between a halfling and a goblin. Imagine a classic opposites attract rom-com taking place in those cozy scenes in the Hobbit's Shire from The Lord of the Rings. Expect magical forests, interfering wizards, lots of home cooking, and maybe even a kiss at the harvest dance. When a halfling pansy and a goblin wren each think each other inherited the same cottage, they make a bargain. They'll live in the house together, and whoever is driven out first forfeits their ownership. Amidst forced proximity and cultural misunderstandings, the two begin to fall in love. But when the cottage and their communities are threatened by a common enemy, the duo must learn to trust each other and convince the goblins and the halflings to band together to oust the tall intruder. Perfect for fans of cozy romantasy novels, including Legends and Lattes, House in the Cerulean Sea, and Lord of the Rings. It sounds cute and cozy when the mood strikes. We get into February, and the first one that I'm anticipating in February comes out February 3rd, and that is Queen of Faces by Petra Lord. This is book 1 in the Queen of Faces series. Upon dies, a queen rises. A desperate girl at a cutthroat magical academy faces a choice between life and death. Become an assassin for the enchanted elite, or watch her decaying body draw its last breath. Yikes. Annabelle is trapped in a male body, and it's rotting from the inside out. In Camor, where the magical elite buy and swap designer bodies like clothes, Anna can't afford to escape her tattered form. When she fails the entrance exam to the prestigious Paragon Academy, her last hope of earning a new body implodes. As the clock ticks down to her own last breath, she's forced to use her illusion magic to steal a healthy Cassis before her own kills her. But Anna is caught by none other than the headmaster of Paragon Academy, who poses a brutal ultimatum: face execution for her crime or become a mercenary at his command. Revolt brews in the Kaimor's smog-choked underworld, and the wealthy and the powerful will stop at nothing to take down the rebels and the infamous Dark Witch at their helm, the Black Wraith. With no choice but to accept, Anna will steal, fight, and kill her way to salvation. But her survival depends on a dangerous band of an impulsive assassin, a brooding bomb maker, and an alluring exile who might just spell her ruin. As Anna is drawn into a tangled web of secrets, the line between villain and hero shatters, and Anna must decide which side is worth dying for. That sounds really good. It actually kind of reminds me a little bit of Silver Cloak, so I love Silver Cloak, so hopefully that does stand up to that expectation, but it sounds really good. Another one that comes out on February 3rd is A Stage Set for Villains by Shannon J. Spann. This one sounds so good. It says that it's Caraval meets One Dark Window, and that's all I need, honestly. Like, just that. I would read it. But it sounds like there's this stage, these players of this, like, performance of this game, and they're immortal. All the gods are dead, all that's left are the players. The performers of the playhouse are as worshipped as they are feared. Their enchanting shows bending hearts, minds, and even reality itself. Vicious, godlike, lethal. 18-year-old Riven knows the dangers better than anyone after her own encounter with a player has resulted in a curse that is slowly killing her. But they kind of offer this once in a lifetime chance. It's a spectacle, and the winner gets to take one of the players' immortality. So she kind of infiltrates the competition because she sees this as her only way to survive, or a chance at her life again. And she finds the playhouse's leader and strikes a bargain with him. The secrets may be unraveling very nasty things. And she finds out that she may not be the hero in the story, she may be the villain. It just sounds so good, so hopefully it is. And then Wicked Onyx by Debbie Cassidy, book 1 in the Veritas Legacy series, comes out February 10th. And it says, in a ruthless magical academy where she's cursed and powerless, the last Onyx must unravel dark family secrets and navigate dangerous alliances to reclaim her legacy and make those who betrayed her pay. You don't graduate Nightbridge Academy, you survive it. Born into a sorcerer bloodline, cursed and cut off from my power, I was accustomed to being an outcast. For generations, my bloodline carried the weight of a crime committed by our ancestor. But my mother's death changed everything. She left a clue that could prove our ancient text hidden deep beneath Knightsbridge Academy. The Academy is a fortress of power, housing the most dangerous enchanters and sorcerers, inscripted to keep horrors and echoes at bay. And as the last surviving Onyx, I'm owed admission. My plan is simple. Find the book and expose the Imperium as the liars that they are. But I didn't plan for the whispers that haunt my dreams, or the complication of feelings I shouldn't be capable of, stirred by two men bound to the very institution I've come to destroy. One sees too much and yet says too little. The other is steady, protective, and always in my corner. I can't have either. Yet, when I'm in their presence, my curse begins to crack, If they discover my true purpose, I'm dead. But some truths are worth dying for. The Imperium cursed my bloodline, stripped us of our magic, and branded us as traitors, and now they will pay. Sounds interesting. I like that it's a academy for sorcerers. I love magical school settings, so that'll be fun. And then Throne of Nightmares is actually supposed to come out by Carrie Maniscalco. I forgot this book existed because I thought it was coming out last year, and then they changed it to this year. But this is book 3 in the Princes of Sen series, and this is following Sloth, I believe? Yeah. And the tagline says, survive the story or suffer your fate. Beware of waking gods, their dreams are often our nightmares. A book of dangerous magic draws 2 readers into a perilous quest to find it and their own happy ending, in this action-packed standalone fantasy romance. Prince Sloth hates leaving his enchanted library, but when a forgotten deity threatens the very fabric of the underworld, he's thrust into a race against time. He must find the Book of Nightmares, an ancient artifact that has the power to break worlds, before it unleashes a deadly game to free its master, the Goddess of Night. When a betrayal leaves him marked and desperate, his path collides with a young woman who possesses the legendary Phoenix Tear, a portal stone unlike any other. A librarian who is all sweet sunshine until she burns. Laura Brimstone has always loved getting lost in a book. She never meant to, literally. Yet after visiting a traveling caravan, she quickly finds herself transported to a terrifying but oddly familiar world. With a calculating prince at her side, realizing they are living out her favorite novels one by one, they face off against an increasingly dark magic as they try to survive the story. A twisted tale that means they can't trust themselves or their hearts. As Laura and Sloth navigate the pages of her beloved novels gone wrong, she must channel her inner main character to defeat the Book of Nightmares before the wall between the gods and the mortals comes crashing down, dooming them all. I've wanted more of Sloth. Of all of the princes, of all the brothers, I've really wanted more of Sloth, so I'm excited to get to this, and I love that it's bookish focused. And then on February 24th, And Now Back to You by B.K. Borison is coming out. This is book 2 in the Heartstrings series. I am so excited about this because it's following The Weatherman. Oh, it's going to be so good, I can tell. 2 competing meteorologists are forced to find common ground in this opposites attract when Harry met Sally inspired romance. Jax and Clark have had their fair share of run-ins over the years, often ending in disaster. While Jackson thrives on routine and organization from the comfort of his radio booth, Delilah loves the spontaneity and adventure out in the field. When they're partnered against their will to cover the snowstorm of a century, they find themselves scrambling to figure out how to work together. Eager to be taken seriously as a journalist, Delilah offers Jackson a deal. If he can help her ace this assignment, she'll help him rediscover his long-lost fun side. With an undiscovered chemistry burning beneath their clashes, the unlikely partnership quickly tumbles into an easy and surprising friendship. And I think it's funny because it's been described as like it's a one-sided feud. So Jackson's like, this is my nemesis, and she's just like la la la. So I think that's really funny. I think it's gonna be really good. I loved First Time Caller, so I have high expectations for this. And then coming out February 17th also is The Astral Library by Kate Quinn. This just kind of sounds interesting, but a little bit of a different genre than I usually go for. It's a fantastical adventure which poses the question, have you ever wished you could live inside a book? Welcome to the Astral Library, where books are not just objects, but doors to new worlds, new lives, and new futures. Alexandria Watson has learned one lesson from her barren childhood in the foster care system. Unlike people, books will never let you down. Working 3 dead-end jobs to make ends meet and knowing college is a pipe dream, Alex takes nightly refuge in the high-vaulted reading room at the Boston Public Library, escaping into her favorite fantasy novels and dreaming of far-off lands. Until the day she stumbles through a hidden door and meets the librarian, the ageless guardian of a hidden library where the desperate and the lost escape to new lives inside their favorite books. The librarian takes a dazzled Alex under her wing, but before she can escape into the pages of her new life, a shadowy enemy emerges to threaten everyone the Astral Library has ever helped protect. Aided by a dashing costume shop owner, Alex and the librarian flee through the Regency drawing rooms of Jane Austen to the back alleys of Sherlock Holmes and the champagne-soaked parties of The Great Gatsby, as dangers draw inexorably closer. But who does their enemy really wish to destroy? Alex the librarian or the library itself? It just sounds so fun and like something that fantasy or even like adventure readers would just love. So I hope it lives up to those expectations because the premise and synopsis sound amazing, and I hope it is amazing. And the last book for February that I'm anticipating is Agnes Albert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. This is the same author as the Emily Wilde series, and I hope that this is good. I've heard, I think it was Becky, she got an early arc of this maybe, and she DNF'd it, so I hope I like it. I'm a little nervous, but I love Heather Fawcett, so I think that I'll like it, but we'll see how it goes. A woman who runs a cat rescue in 1920s Montreal turns to a grouchy but charming wizard to help save the shelter in this heartwarming, cozy fantasy. Agnes leads a meticulously organized life, and she likes it that way. As the proudly Type A manager of a much-needed cat rescue charity, she has devoted her life to finding forever homes for lost cats. But after she is forced to move the cat shelter, Agnes learns that her new landlord is using her charity as a front for an international renowned, thoroughly disreputable magic shop. Owned by the magician and failed Dark Lord, the shop draws magical clientele from around the world, partially due to the quality of Havelock's illicit goods, as well as the curiosity about his shadowy past and rumors of his incredible powers. I skipped over a line, but it says, owned by the disorganized, not to mention self-absorbed, irritating, but also decidedly handsome Havelock magician and failed Dark Lord. Agnes's charity offers the perfect cover for illegal magics, and she couldn't care less about the shop's magical intrigue or not. There are cats to be rescued, but when an enemy from Havelock's past surfaces, the magic shop, and more importantly the cat shelter, are suddenly in jeopardy. To save the shelter, will Agnes have to set aside her social conscience and protect the man who once tried to bring about the apocalypse and is now trying to steal her heart? That sounds so good. I hope it is. I have faith, Heather Fawcett. Okay, and then we get to March, and thus far for March, I just have Midnight on the Celestial by Julia Alexandra, which comes out March 3rd. And this says, Rhoda DeMarcus has never been afraid of the dead. Her power to summon spirits has awed the guests of her esteemed family's galas for as long as she can remember. Her future is certain, and her gift will be another shining jewel in the DeMarcus legacy. But when she fails her realm's trials to keep her magic and is deemed too dangerous for society, she faces a harrowing choice. Give up her gift or serve a punishment sentence aboard the Celestial, a luxurious magical cruise ship where staff members compete for guests' votes to earn a coveted retrial. As a concierge, Ro juggles the demands of affluent guests, cruel bosses, and the suspicion that an infuriatingly handsome silks performer, Evander, is determined to keep her from her retrial. The true dangers surface after her shift ends when the Celestial transforms into a hall of nightmares that kill the staff members after dark. Faced with the reality of serving aboard, Ro begins to question the ship, trials, and the system that put her there. But the moment Ro sinks into the ship's dark history, she's wrongly framed for a guest's murder. Vowing to conjure her own second chance, Ro will use whatever power she has to uncover the secrets of the ship, her family, and their entwined bloody past, before she becomes the Celestial's next victim. That sounds magical, intriguing, mysterious, murder mystery-esque. Sign me up, I'm excited. Of course, sign me up. These are anticipated releases of mine, but And then last but not least for this video, at least at the moment, this is what I have for March, but last but not least is Game On by Nevessa Allen. Now, if you haven't read the first 2 books of this series, I think me saying the lead of this one will be a spoiler, so I'm sorry, but I will kind of get into a little bit of a synopsis. Game On is for these enemies to lovers with laugh-out-loud banter and scorching hot brat play. I hate that woman. Tyler has spent years looking for his father, and not because he wants to meet the man. He wants to destroy him. And he'll manipulate whoever he can to exact his revenge, including Stella. She's everything Tyler hates. Her wealth and privilege have protected her entire life, and Tyler thinks it's time she finally paid the price, whether she's ready or not. I hate that man. Stella might not believe in love at first sight, but loathing at first sight, no question. From the moment she sets eyes on Tyler in her tattoo parlor, she knows he's the devil planning to make her life hell. Forced to play the part of his girlfriend and invite him to her family's glittering circles, Stella quickly clocks Tyler's ulterior motives. But love and hate are 2 sides of the same coin, and soon she doesn't know which is being blackmailed by a man who wants to ruin her, or that they can't seem to keep their hands off each other. Game On is an enemies to lovers dark romance with morally gray characters. I, at this point, just feel invested in the series, so I'm going to read it, whether I like it or not. But I like the idea of following a girl who owns a tattoo parlor, and interested to learn more about Tyler. So, we'll see. Well, those are all the anticipated releases I have thus far for the first quarter of 2026. I would love to know if you have a most anticipated release of the year, or for this quarter, if there's one that's coming out in the next few months that you're really excited about. Please drop it in the comments down below and let me know. Maybe I'll add it to mine. But for now, that is it for today's video. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time. Stay safe and caffeinated. Bye.